Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another WWE Reddit video. This is, of course, the series where you can submit your photos, videos, memes, questions, or anything related to the world of professional wrestling over on the Santi Zap Videos Reddit page. So if you'd like to be featured in next week's WWE Reddit video, make sure that you check out the Reddit page. There's a link in the description for you. So you're not confused, the Reddit page is the one with about 15,000 followers on there. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And if you are looking for more than just daily wrestling content, I encourage you to come check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, you're gonna get so much more extra content that we can never upload here on YouTube because we use footage over there and it would just get blocked here due to copyright. So you have to go to the Patreon. Go check it out. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's start the video. Cena is one evil mother effer. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet for the clip.
Ron, that was over the line. You say one more thing, and I promise there'll be repercussions.
Hit him with a government name, Ron. He warned him. He warned him.
But I just want to tell you.
The fact that the room stayed quiet for this is so funny to me. Just a bunch of reporters just sitting there saying nothing. Cena just kills our truth. Listen, I don't know how anyone with a functioning brain could sit here and legitimately try to argue that this is worse or on par with how bad the Travis Scott interference was at WrestleMania 41. This is infinitely better. And they even paid it off right after in the press conference, which honestly was so good. This to me is what they need to do at press conferences, because when they try to be all sports and try to take themselves seriously in these press conferences, I kind of like lose my interest in what they're saying. But when they try to keep us sports entertained throughout the whole thing, because that's what WWE is all about, even in the press conferences, that is what I'm on board with. I thought this was awesome. I love NXT. Yep. All right. I'm afraid to see the comment section of this. You bunch of gooners. Let's see what you guys are saying. Well, I mean, it's literally just gifs of you guys just, okay, Gooner T. Yeah, Gooner. Okay. I'm not surprised. 5 months later, I can say that this match did nothing for Roman and ruined Solo's push. I mean, I would agree. However, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate and I'm going to ask, where did you see this ending? How did you see this ending? Because to me, it was always going to end in this way. It had to always end in Roman versus Solo, and Roman was always going to go over. And after Solo lost his Ulafala, he lost the entire reason as to why he was interesting, if you ask me. So this was always an inevitability. Solo was always going to be knocked down the pecking order after losing to Roman Reigns, and here we are. Now, I will say he's starting to slowly build himself back up with the introduction of Jeff Cobb, but I always thought that this was going to be the inevitable end result of Solo Sikoa. It's just too bad that it happened so early before WrestleMania that it basically forced him to have no aura in WrestleMania season and miss yet another WrestleMania without having a match. But I always thought this was going to be the end result. I didn't see it going any other way, especially with Jacob Fatu like right around the corner, already overshadowing Solo Sikoa for months leading into this. It was an inevitability. Here's footage of the fan throwing the bottle at John Cena. Dude, what a scumbag, man. Look at this. Look at this loser over here. First of all, give Cena the finger. Okay, sure. That's fine. I feel like that's a fair fan interaction. But then he says to his buddy, hey, what's this? What's this? I'm going to make a name for myself. Complete buffoon. Shout out to John Cena, man, for handling this the way that he did. But this is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. He's over there laughing his ass off, pretending like he didn't do it. Luckily, security does come get his ass out of there. Hopefully, he's banned for life. Hopefully he's not allowed at any social events, because how do you behave like that? Like that's just genuinely embarrassing. Actually, like embarrassing. I'm definitely not going to lump the rest of the fans with that guy, but like that guy is like the worst of the worst when it comes to wrestling fans. If you guys have been to a live wrestling show, I'm sure that you have seen some people that are like, oh man, you make me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan because of some of the things that they say to wrestlers that are just like clearly over the line. This guy falls into that category. We as wrestling fans, we do not claim this loser. Absolute classic. This is how to make a star, Charlotte. I love how, including myself, everybody's like, see, Charlotte, this is how it's done. And it's mostly because of our frustration with how the Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton feud went, because this is what we wanted to get out of this. This is what we wanted Tiffy to go through. But instead, we just got an admittedly really bad feud. But Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton just were not able to do what Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch are doing right now, which is honestly magic. And it's elevating not just Lyra Valkyria, but the Women's Intercontinental Championship in that division. And in my eyes, hopefully this will help people have a better view of Becky Lynch as well and stop calling her Becky Hogan, even though she's about to make her entire character about being the one that holds other women down, which, you know, I think is going to work really well. Is Truth really going to dethrone Cena? I mean, I don't think so, but I do think that maybe somewhere down the line, R-Truth could be the reason for the dethroning of Cena. I genuinely could see that happening. If Truth is already helping Cena, maybe somewhere down the line, he costs Cena. We shall see, but I don't think that he's going to be the one that's going to be your next WWE Undisputed Champion or anything like that. Me personally, I'm glad that R-Truth has been included into this storyline, because R-Truth, from an actual character point of view, like in the WWE as a performer, he kind of represents us, the fans. And that's, to me, a really unique character to be able to play, because before, the fans are literally just the fans. We interact with the wrestlers from the outside looking in, but now we have a character that represents the fans that's in the inside looking in. And I think that's pretty cool. John Cena kicked out of 5 RKOs and 2 AAs through a table. Super Cena is back, baby. Dude, that was just such an insane match. There were so many RKOs, not just delivered to Cena, but like just in general in that match. And I'm glad that they knew that this match just needed to be nostalgia bait, that this match just needed to have a bunch of the moves that were going to get pops out of people, and the moves that were going to remind people of an easier time in their lives when they were kids. And to me, this match delivered. But yeah, Super Cena is back, baby. Who should Roman pass the torch to? Yeah, so we've had several passing of the torch moments. I think, to me, it's pretty clear and obvious that it should be Braun Breaker, and we're maybe just like around the corner from it like actually happening and making sense, considering we have this Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker faction that will inevitably have to go up against Roman Reigns. So we could live in a world within the next 2 years we could actually see a proper passing of the torch moment, maybe Braun Breaker defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I genuinely see it happening, with Roman Reigns coming into the twilight of his career and Braun Breaker about to enter I guess the height of it. You can tell Cena wanted to do the hand gesture and smile through the crowd so bad. Give me babyface Cena ASAP. I love this scene. I love this scene. I won't play it longer because it might get dinged due to copyright. But I love that he's kind of like looking at his title as he's hearing "Thank you, Cena." Obviously, we don't hear his thoughts or his words, but as a fan, I start to speculate and try to put myself in the shoes of the performer John Cena. And the way that he's looking at the title, I'm thinking like, man, is this worth it? Was it worth what I did to give up the adoration and my relationship with the fans for this right here that's directly in front of me? The 17. I do still believe that Cena will end his career as a babyface, and I think that will be such an awesome, maybe dare I say, tear-jerking moment, because I might like legitimately cry when we see the babyface turn of John Cena before he retires. The days are counting down, fellas. Like, we're literally running out of days of John Cena, and I get sad every time I see that counter go down. I really thought someone is coming out when Cena said, "I'm looking for competition." So did I. I actually thought this was going to be the return of Cody Rhodes, like right here, like genuinely. I thought that we were going to hear I thought that maybe come Money in the Bank or the Saudi show that we would get the rematch of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, because I do foresee that match happening again at some point or another. And I wouldn't be surprised if when the rematch happens again, Cody loses again to some sort of shenanigans or another interference. But I did feel like there was something missing with the end of the show. When the credits were rolling and Cena had the mic, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure somebody's coming out, but nobody did. But at the very least, we did get some teases as to who could be next, with CM Punk posting on social media about saying that John Cena's days as champion are numbered. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, that's filthy. That was and beautiful. Man, I love that spirit bomb. Oh, oh yeah. Woo! Oh, that, folks, was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at maybe the most insane backyard wrestling match that I've ever seen from BXW Backyard Wrestling. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23. CM Punk versus Raven from Ring of Honor in a Clockwork Orange Funhouse match. Keith Lee versus Penta from AAW Pro. And Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey from TNA back in 2021. You're going to be getting all of this, plus the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than everywhere else, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs that we're doing, and now we're starting a new series where we're watching every single John Cena WWE Championship victory of his career. So come check it out. That's patreon.com/SantiZap. There's a link in the description or a link in the pinned comment. I'm confident that if you try it even for just 1 month, that you are going to fall in love with the content and the community. But that's enough. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. Let's get you back to the video. Bro, how are people calling Lyra's fiance ugly? I don't get it, man. That is a good-looking man. That is an in-shape individual, and I don't get it, man. It's people projecting their insecurities. That's all it is. Thoughts? My thoughts on this faction? I freaking love it. I love the idea of AJ Styles and Finn Balor, two guys that, hey, let's just call it what it is, are just sort of floating around, treading water, that are way too good to be booked the way that they currently are as single stars. Have them come together, run rampant through the WWE, and start the WWE's version of the Bullet Club, which we've been wanting for a really, really long time. We've been seeing Finn Balor talking to Roxanne Perez backstage, which I think directly connects him to Julia. Finn and JD McDonough are just such homies that I doubt they'd ever separate. This would be a great idea. I like genuinely hope that this is the route that they go somewhere down the line. But I do hope it's a rebrand and not just another iteration of the Judgment Day, if you ask me. I will never forget this. Before 100 men versus one gorilla, we had John Cena and Randy Orton versus the entire Raw roster. By the way, we recently watched this match a few months ago on the Patreon. This match sucks. It's so bad. Who's been the best addition to the men's mid-card this year? Okay, so we've got Penta, Rey Fenix, Rusev, Aleister Black. I mean, El Grande Americano wasn't added to the mid-card. That guy's a main eventer, so he doesn't even count here. But I think it's Penta. I think it's the one that we have the most evidence for. There's a guy that's already been, in WrestleMania, going for a singles gold, getting single storylines. I feel like Rey Fenix is kind of struggling to find his footing from a storyline perspective, and I think it's still too early to tell with Rusev and Aleister Black. So my answer for 2025 is Penta. We got R-Truth in the world title picture before GTA 6. Yeah, so this is the big rumor going around: John Cena versus R-Truth at Saturday night's main event, and I know people are going to groan if this is the match. Here's the thing: if there is a place where you should do this match, it should just be Saturday night's main event. I think we all know now, I feel like the cat's out of the bag. I feel like none of us are going to be bamboozled anymore into thinking that anything crazy is going to happen at Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event is like a one night of non-canon, a fun showcase of professional wrestling. And I feel like if it's there, like if they were to do this at Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, a B-tier PLE, I might also be upset. I would not be down for this. But at Saturday night's main event, a night where it's just kind of fun and it doesn't really matter, like there aren't going to be results that are ground shifting and fundamentally change storylines as a whole, this would be the place where you can get away with it. And I think the majority of sane fans, with a functioning brain, would probably be okay with it. I have to clarify that because I know that the internet wrestling community will still be absolutely furious with this. Where should Cena versus CM Punk happen? Look, I don't mind SummerSlam, but because it's such a big show, but like it's Money in the Bank. It's just too poetic. It's too perfect. It's just such a great full circle moment, not just because it's, 14 years later and it's the same show, Money in the Bank, but because it would also now be role reversal. Cena's trying to take the title away with him when he retires and take it away from the company, which is what CM Punk was trying to do. He's trying to take the title away from the company, and CM Punk succeeded. He took the title away from the company on that show. So I would love for the role reversals for now Cena to be the one to take the title away and CM Punk to try and stop John Cena. I think it's just too poetic, too perfect. Money in the Bank should be the place where they they do this. It's official. How do we feel about it? Well, the internet hates it, but again, I go back to the R-Truth thing. If there is a place where a non-canon match that doesn't really impact professional wrestling as a whole, that doesn't change storylines moving forward, this is the place where you want it to happen. Jey Uso and Logan Paul is a fun exhibition match, and if it's going to happen somewhere, because clearly they were dead set on it happening, Saturday night's main event is the best place for it to happen. There's always a plan B. Oh yeah, I've seen this picture circulating around of like the plan B, you know, with CM Punk and Sami Zayn with the chair here, and I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see. I could see a world where Sami Zayn is the third man, but I also don't, because of the scheduling of things with the big Saudi shows that we have, the one that we have at the end of June, and then the Royal Rumble being in Saudi. I feel like they're gonna want Sami Zayn as a babyface for these. Wow, another rematch incoming. So what, bro? The last time that these two faced each other, it was amazing in a singles environment. The triple threat match that these two were in was a match of the year contender. So what's the problem? I don't get it. You not want to see good wrestling? Yeah, it's happened before. Again, it was good when it happened. Well, just because you've had delicious chocolate ice cream before, and you can't have it again because you've already had it? Stupid mentality, man. If the match was garbage, then sure, I'd be like, yeah, this is why we're running this again. But the matches were legitimately amazing. Why are we complaining about this? I'm just gonna leave this here. Oh, come on, bro. I was just starting to forget the lyrics of this stupid song. Name me something that you think Triple H does horribly that Vince McMahon did better. I feel like for the most part, Triple H is pretty darn good and better at many of the things that Vince McMahon used to do, but I would say that Vince McMahon was significantly better at short-term storytelling and giving us gratification when it was needed. Like I think of things like the Otis storyline or the Austin Theory storyline, where Triple H just dragged them out way too long and then pulled the trigger eventually when people didn't care. You know, with Otis, it was like 7 months later, and with Austin Theory, he still hasn't. And that to me is problematic. Like sometimes, you know, you don't need to look that far ahead. Like if it's right there for the taking, like take the low-hanging fruit and deliver on fan expectations when you probably should, as opposed to just artificially inflating storylines. I would say that Vince McMahon had a better eye for delivering short-term gratification to fans. Do you agree? John Cena and Randy Orton greater than, let me guess, John Cena and Cody Rhodes? Yeah, John Cena. Oh my God, it's not even close. Yeah, of course, this was better. It was a better in-ring affair. It was way more fun. The interference was less egregious here, if you ask me. This knew what it needed to be. This was a nostalgia dump. This had no idea what it wanted to be. This was a soulless match when you really go back and watch it. This is infinitely better. We now have a repeat of the Otis and Chad Gable storyline where it will take another 6 months of teasing before they pull the trigger. That's funny. That's literally what we were just talking about. I really hope that that's not the case. I feel like there's something here with Berto, but will they pull the trigger? I don't know, man. Like history says that they probably won't, knowing Triple H. Cena's the type of guy to do this. All right. All right. Yeah, that's a fire meme. That's a fire meme. Well done. 10 out of 10. Why is everyone so sure that Mariah May is signing with WWE? Yeah, so I know that she's super close with Mina Shirakawa. I love Mina Shirakawa, by the way. So a lot of people think that, you know, she could be going to Japan. But I think the reason why people think it's a lock is because she's been very vocal about this is where she wants to be, the WWE. And it seems like AEW officials believe that she's going to WWE. So you asked me why many people believe that she's going to WWE, because the people that know believe that she's going to WWE. Is Jeff Cobb even Samoan? Triple H and the WWE creative team trying to link Jeff Cobb to the bloodline. So he's Hawaiian. And I guess that there is now precedent, you know, with the Tongans and also not being Samoan being added to the bloodline. I feel like at this point, Solo Sikoa is just recruiting from Pacific Islands at this point. Who do you see having a brighter future? So Jeff Cobb, Rusev, or Aleister Black? Almost like by default, you have to just say Jeff Cobb, because being associated with the bloodline is, you know, it's basically a rocket strap being immediately attached to you on the onset of your career. So I'm going to say Jeff Cobb. Santi is massive. Yo, shout out to people that bring Santi Zap signs, man. This will never get old. This is awesome. I genuinely think that this is fantastic. Sub to Santi Zap. You heard it here, folks. I heard enough. Give him the world title ASAP.
Bitch ass hoes and flaming Doritos.
I don't know the context of this, but I love it. Since the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia next year, who do you have winning? All right, so Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. I think these are both top contenders. Goldberg, oh God, it is Saudi, so you never know. For those that don't know, I think it was the first Saudi show. The Saudi organizers wanted WWE to bring in Macho Man Randy Savage and Yokozuna to their show, both of whom had already passed away. So I will go with... I'm actually going to go with Roman. I feel like the Mania match is going to be for the world title, Roman versus Seth, and Roman's going to win the Rumble. He's like the only like major legend at this point that's like a Mount Rushmore guy that's not won the Rumble more than once. So I think that they're probably going to do it here. He did it. Yeah, but he's already won like thousands of titles around the world. I mean, it is impressive, you know, that he's already winning championships in the WWE. This guy's a future world champ for sure. I really didn't know this.
Liv Morgan thought that we weren't actual brothers either. I had to break out the baby photo.
I think people don't legitimately believe that you guys are legitimate brothers.
Tell the truth. It's because I'm better looking. It's because I'm taller.
It's more intelligent.
More intelligent. more humble. I'm better at being humble. Yeah, like it's all those things.
We shared a bedroom until what?
We didn't share a bed. We shared a bedroom.
Cut that out. We didn't share.
I don't think you fit in this bed. I must seem like even a king size bed wouldn't fit the two of you.
Yeah, like,
it looked like
head
Elf.
to toe. Yeah.
Especially when I was younger, I'd wet the bed, you know? And I'm on top. That's kind of scary.
Well, he says younger, but that was like until 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, they're brothers. Yeah, they're brothers. Yeah, they're definitely brothers. Yeah, I mean, at first glance, I could see why people don't think that they're brothers, but just from that interaction, they clearly are. Epic trash fail. I've seen this. It just turns into the Stone Cold Stunner. This is stupid. You know what? Didn't mind that. Didn't mind that one. Twice in a lifetime. Bro, if you watched my Backlash stream, you saw my struggles with the internet. That was a painful night of professional wrestling for me. I drove back 2 hours to watch Backlash with you guys, and my ISP is like, that's just not gonna work for me, brother. Actually, this is a perfect representation of how it went. Yeah, the internet was like, no, it's just not gonna work for us, brother. Not today. Have you seen this man recently? I didn't see him at Backlash in the front row. Yeah, Green Shirt Guy has become so synonymous with front row WWE tickets that you know, he misses one show and everybody's up in arms. Hell, maybe the ticket prices have gotten so expensive that even Green Shirt Guy can't afford them. All right, that's WWE pricing out their biggest fans here, ladies and gentlemen. Even Dom knows the Hogan meme.
Because he refused to lose. So I might have to pull.
Just refuse, bro.
I have to pull a honky tonk, man, and just be like, oh, not tonight. Doesn't work for me, brother.
I'm never giving this shit.
Never giving this shit up.
Dude, Dom is a legend, dude. Dom, he is just poised for mega uber stardom, and we're just seeing him scratch the surface. Like, you guys have been seeing these clips of like all of these legends saying just how damn good Dominic Mysterio is. I've been beating this drum now for a while, and now everybody's on board, and I'm glad that you guys are. But this man is just incredible at this. In and out of the ring, he's just so good at this job. Like, look at this clip from Backlash. Like, come on, look at this. Oh my God, bro. Dom's the best, man. In fact, let's end this video on Dominic Mysterio, because that's a perfect way to end it and a perfect way to send you off on your merry way with a nice smile on your face. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching this Reddit video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye. Get out of here.